So you're looking to start investing in Europe, but man, the options can be overwhelming, right? Well, today, we're going to cut through all that noise and break down the absolute best investing apps available right now, so you can start your journey with total confidence. Yeah, you've probably gone online, heard about all these big American apps, and then poof, they're not available here. It's a super frustrating, common problem. So what we're going to do is give you a really clear, honest look at the best options we have right here in Europe and help you find the perfect match for your own investing style. All right, let's kick things off with what I call the new contenders. These are apps built from the ground up specifically for beginners. You might have heard them called neo-brokers. Their whole game is a super simple user experience and, this is key, really, really low fees. First up, we've got Trade Republic, and this one's a giant with over 8 million clients. The app itself is really elegant and easy to use. Now, here's a massive plus, especially if you're in Germany or Austria, it handles your taxes for you automatically. That is a huge headache saver. But, and this is a big but, a lot of people report that their customer service is painfully slow. It's probably just a side effect of growing so fast, but it's definitely something to think about, even with that solid overall score. Okay, next on the list is Lightyear. And let me tell you, when it comes to just pure, beautiful design, this app is a real standout. But, and this is a pretty big one, its investment selection is, well, it's a bit of a weak spot. We're talking only around 250 ETFs. That's kind of limited if you're looking to get serious. So yeah, it's a fantastic place for an absolute beginner to start, but that selection score definitely holds it back. All right, now let's talk about Trading 212. And wow, this is a perfect example of a company that just dominates on cost. I mean, a perfect 10 out of 10 on fees. Why? Because buying and selling stocks and ETFs is completely free, zero cost. Plus, they have this awesome feature called Pies that helps you automatically balance your portfolio, which is super cool. The only real knock on them, they have a history with high-risk CFD trading, which, might make some people a little wary. Still, with that 8.75 score, it's a huge contender. Okay, let's move on to our next category. What if you could invest right inside the app you already use for your daily banking? That's what these next platforms are all about, ultimate convenience. I mean, who hasn't heard of Revolut? It's a household name in European fintech. And yeah, being able to invest right inside your banking app, that's a massive pro. But, the experience isn't quite seamless. Trying to find specific ETFs can be a bit of a pain, and honestly, if you're on their free plan, the fees are surprisingly high compared to the other guys. So what's the takeaway? Revolut is probably best for people who already use it and just want to dip their toes in with small amounts. Okay, now for N26. And look at that, just like Trading 2-in-1, it's scoring a perfect 10 on fees. That's because, again, stock and ETF investing is totally free. The app itself is clean, it's simple, but here's the big potential deal breaker. What you can actually invest in, it changes wildly depending on what country you're in. If you're in Germany or Spain, you're probably fine. But in some of the smaller countries, the selection can be shockingly bad. We're talking like fewer than 20 ETFs. Okay, before we get to our last category, I need to share a really, really important warning. Scammers are everywhere, and they love to impersonate brokers, banks, even people like me online. So please, and I'm being serious here, never ever click an investment link that someone sends you on social media or in a messaging app. Always, always go directly to the official website yourself. It's the only way to be sure you're safe. All right, let's shift gears and talk about the heavyweights. If you're someone who values a long track record, massive size, and a platform that's powerful and sophisticated, well, this next group of brokers is for you. And kicking off this category is the biggest of them all, interactive brokers. I mean, just look at those scores. Perfect 10s for investment selection and reputation. They have literally everything you could ever want to invest in, and their reputation is rock solid. But, and this is the huge trade-off, the user experience is notoriously difficult. A 6 out of 10 doesn't even quite capture it. For a beginner, it can be a real nightmare to figure out. It's an incredibly powerful platform, no doubt, but you gotta be ready for a seriously steep learning curve. Next up is Saxo Bank. Another powerhouse, another stellar reputation, and they even have a banking license, which adds a layer of security. And hey, it's definitely more user-friendly than interactive brokers, so that's a big plus. But the fees are a bit of a mixed bag. The really crucial thing to watch out for is the custody fee. In some countries like the UK, the Netherlands, and Scandinavia, Saxo charges you an annual fee just to hold your investments. And for me, that's pretty much a deal breaker. But hey, if you're not in one of those countries, it's a very strong choice. And our final powerhouse is DEGIRO. They're part of a publicly traded German bank, so their reputation is totally solid. You can think of DEGIRO as a really great all-rounder. It does most things pretty well. But the one big thing you really have to watch out for is currency exchange. Let's say you want to buy US stocks. DEGIRO's fees to converting your euros to dollars are high, and they're automatic. And trust me, over time, that can seriously eat into your returns. Okay, so we've looked at a ton of options. How in the world do you actually choose? Well, let's bring it all together right now and find the perfect match for you. So this table kind of lays it all out for us, right? In the beginner-friendly category, Trading 212 is the clear winner with its zero fees and awesome design. If you want that banking app convenience, N26 takes the cake, as long as the investment selection is good where you live. And for pure, raw power, it's got to be Interactive Brokers, tying for the highest overall score we've seen. So let's boil this all down. It really just depends on what you value most. Who are you as an investor? If you want ultimate ease of use and you love the sound of free trades, then Trading 212 is your go-to. If you're all about convenience and maybe you're already an N26 customer, that's a great place to start. And finally, if you're looking for the most powerful features and the best reputation out there and you don't mind a challenge, then Interactive Brokers is the one for you. But wait, before you rush off and download one of these, there is one last absolutely crucial thing to think about: taxes. Yeah, I know, nobody likes to talk about taxes. But in countries like Germany or Austria, for example, using a local broker like Trade Republic that handles all the tax reporting for you, it can save you an enormous headache. So always check your local tax situation before you commit. And there you have it. You've got the full framework. You know all the top contenders, the pros, the cons. So now the only real question left is, which app are you going to choose to start your journey?